Yeah, we're here with Spencer Mooberry. I always do that to you. From Osage, two-time place winner and part of Osage state championship team this year. How did you ever get started in wrestling?
Well, I started back when I lived in Wisconsin in first grade. I mean, my dad wrestled. He encouraged me to do it, but then I quit pretty fast. I went first practice. I wrestled a girl. I was in like fifth grade, and she just beat me up. So then I quit. Till I moved to Osage, late first grade, early second grade. Started wrestling again. Stuck with it ever since, I guess.
So you actually didn't get started actually really young. It was towards middle school range.
Second grade.
Oh, but then you quit and came back in fifth grade or thereabouts.
Yep.
Interesting. Did you catch on pretty quick after you restarted?
Yeah. I mean, in reality, I'm like pretty athletic and I'm pretty easy to catch on. So I mean, like, I was still at a point like I wasn't like a world beater, but like I caught on pretty fast and figured out what to do, and
Did
then I
you
figured
did
it
you
out.
did you wrestle in a club then, or are you in a club now? And
Yeah, I went to Elite Takedown Club for a while there, leading up to my high school career. I think that closed up probably around ninth grade. But now I wrestle just with Trent and them. It's called Caveman Wrestling.
what are a couple of your memorable moments from that uh, from your youth wrestling?
Um, hmm. Well, probably getting third at state as an eighth grader. That was pretty exciting. I also placed as a seventh grader, so that was pretty cool. I mean, especially because I was in the young side of it or whatever. Um, some of my memorable moments, breaking my elbow, broke my elbow. I tried to freestyle, I think my sixth grade summer. I think it was actually Greco. I was wrestling Matthew Doyle, and I don't know, I dislocated my elbow actually. And I was out for like 6 months after, 7 months after that. But I'll always remember
Who
that.
were, who were some of your heroes growing up? Wrestling heroes.
um, I don't know. People I looked up to a lot were like Brady Jennings because they were going through like high school as I was like starting to really love wrestling. But I think my all-time hero is probably Jordan Burroughs.
He seems to be a lot of heroes from the people I talk to. How did you finish then as a youth in some of the state tournaments?
I think I ended up getting third as a sixth grader, seventh as seventh or eighth as a seventh grader, and then I got third again as an eighth grader.
And then how did you finish in high school in the state tournaments?
Freshman year I went two, and then sophomore year I got sixth, and this year I finished up as a runner up.
Was there ever a point in your career where you really noticed some big jumps?
Yeah, I think I noticed probably the biggest jump from last year to this year. I mean, like I was in the hunt last year, obviously, but I think a little bit more like lifting and consistency with my diet and like just consistency with training. And I just feel like that kind of helped me jump levels a little bit.
Who are some of your best competitors that you've had in the past?
Coulter by for sure. That's one that comes to mind. I mean, last year, sophomore year, me and him, we didn't like each other, and I don't know. I think we wrestled three times. He won two, I won one. Braxton Doble, my freshman year. I beat him to go to the state tournament, beat him Osage duels, but he beat me at sectionals.
Who's had your best Who have you had the best battles with?
Um, Probably Braxton Noble, to be honest. Like just as a rivalry standpoint, I mean, like one time I think it went from him tech falling me to me beating him by like six. I don't know. It's just random.
What's your favorite style of wrestling? Folk style, freestyle, and
Um,
Greco, and why?
I think I like Greco probably the most. To be honest, I don't know. I've always had like when I was little, like and into freshman year and stuff. Like I've always had a problem like stopping people from getting to my legs. And in Greco, I don't have to worry about that. And I don't really get thrown because I'm so tall. So I don't know. Been successful at it. It's pretty fun.
You've
I mean,
been
I like folk style too.
you've been part of the Iowa team that goes to Fargo.
Yep.
How much do you enjoy that? And I'm sure you get to meet a lot of other individuals, other wrestlers, and uh, and then I get to see them around the state later on during the season. How much fun is that?
Oh, I think it's a lot of fun, and like definitely encourage it for a lot of people who have the chance. I mean, you meet a lot of new friends, and like it's not only that those friendships just last that weekend. You know, like you take them into the season the next year, and you're talking to people at tournaments all the time, and like that's how I've met a lot of people that I talk to. And like I'm still good friends with a lot of those guys I've been on teams with, like really close friends, and like it's just fun knowing. I mean, you get to know the sport and get to know like what other people do for training, and it's pretty cool.
Well, they're starting to open up a lot of things through this coronavirus. Do you plan on wrestling this summer, going back to Fargo, or
Yeah,
what are your plans?
that's a big plan on my training schedule right now. I mean, I've been working pretty hard. I think I'm definitely planning on going back to Fargo if it happens. I hope it does. I've been lifting and running stuff and wrestling and getting in on a little bit of a mat.
What are your some of your goals that you have for the upcoming season? It'll be your senior season.
Um, Ultimately to be a state champion. I mean, that's been my goal since little kid, and it sucked to get it taken away this year. So hopefully I can get it next year.
What are your favorite tournaments
My
that you've been?
favorite tournaments. Probably the first tournament, Independence. I like that tournament a lot. It's just deep, tough kids, very competitive everywhere. Every weight's very competitive there. Finals are interesting. Then probably state tournament. State tournament's just an awesome experience. I mean, it's nowhere else where you can walk out there and just get goosebumps from how many fans there are when they call your name.
And speaking of the state tournament, I don't know if you've ever been involved with the random draw, but you came in as the number 5 seed this year.
Yep.
How do you like the seedings and the way it's done?
Um, I mean, I questioned it this year, but I think ultimately it played out about the same way it would have if seating was different than what it should have been. Like, I don't know. I questioned it obviously, but like I think ultimately it panned out to be about exactly how it should have been.
Do you have any regrets or something you'd like to change going into this last season?
Just opening up a little bit more, like kind of hesitant on my feet, and that's probably one of my best positions. Um, just let it fly, I guess. I mean, nothing to hold back.
What's it like when you walk out there for the Grand March?
It's pretty cool just knowing that there's so much. It's like completely packed, and I don't know, just it's just a crazy experience, and it's awesome to be a part of it.
Well, Osage was fifth in the duels this year, and they won the state traditional tournament. How exciting was that for you, your teammates, the community?
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, like we came back, the whole community welcomed us home with fire trucks, all that. But at the state tournament, it was pretty cool just like seeing some of those guys that weren't in the finals because we had two in the finals, and like they knew it was going to pretty much rely on them that Saturday morning session, and they just all went out there and got an odd number, and that was huge. Like getting fifth and third, those were big. And like people, like when Jennings told us we had a good chance to win this thing the night before the Saturday morning session, you should have just seen like people's eyes light up. They're like, "Holy cow!" It
I
was
was
pretty
just
cool.
I was just going to ask you, at what point during that tournament did you guys realize or think you had a chance at winning that?
I think we knew we had a chance after the quarterfinals when we punched five guys into the semis. Is that what it was? I think it was no, four guys into the semis.
Or
Yep, we punched four guys into the semis, and I think we were tied with West Delaware, and we're like, "Holy cow, this is about to go down." And then like they had a bad round, and we capitalized, got more bonus points, and it just I don't know, it just became a reality really fast.
Well, shortly after the state tournament, then the coronavirus
Yep.
bug hit everything. How did that affect you, your school, your workouts, your everyday life?
I mean, it does suck. I mean, you don't get to see your friends. You don't get to go to school to get like a actual education like in person. But like, I mean, we did Zoom meetings, 30 minutes for every class a week. I mean, it's better. It was better than nothing. But my training hasn't really dropped off at all. I'm still getting my lifts in, still getting my cardio and wrestling in. Like, same thing, just different times of the day, I guess, because I don't have to wait till 3:30. But
What other sports do you play, and how do you do them, or do you have time for them anymore?
yeah, I play football and I wrestle. I did do track my freshman year, but I didn't do track last year due to injury, and obviously I didn't do it this year either because it got canceled.
What are some of your favorite hobbies, or what do you do besides wrestling?
I hang out with my friends, go fishing, do whatever they want to do. I guess just hang out.
And you told me before you were going fishing this weekend. So,
Yep.
uh, where do you head? Where do you like to go fishing?
I'm a big lake and pond fisher. I mean, like we have a cool river in Osage, a lot of big fish in the river, but I don't know. I like fishing in ponds and lakes better. It just feels like easier almost. I mean, like the river's got so many snags with the rocks and current, and it's just more of an obstacle.
What's one of your favorite fishing trips then? Memory.
Um, Definitely because we used to go up to Wisconsin quite a bit. My grandma used to live up there, so we'd stay at her house and go fishing. It's probably definitely just going up to Wisconsin and getting on the water.
What's some of the or what's the best advice you've been given, and by whom?
Um, Probably Thatcher Goodale. I remember this year after I lost in the state finals, Thatcher Goodale just he came up to me and he's just like, I know how bad you wanted that, but you got to make sure you get it next year. And that one like you got to make sure it happens next year. And it just kind of set in. And like ever since that loss, I mean, I've been I've been addicted to working out almost.
Do you have any advice for upcoming wrestlers then?
um, just stay loyal to your hard work. Don't cheat yourself. Go hard all the time and open up and be offensive.
Who's some of the most influential coaches that you've had?
Definitely Coach Jennings, Coach Fank, and some good ills. I mean, there's three of them. They're all pretty motivational. I've coached Dodd too. Um, I don't know. I've had a lot of great coaches since I've been a part of Osage and like all the national teams I've been on, and that's just like there's so many people you could say that have been inspirational and motivational. You know what I mean?
So what's kind of just a general practice that you guys have during the season?
We normally drill for probably like 30, 45 minutes, and we go over a little bit of technique, um, depending on the team we're wrestling. So Jennings shows like what he knows they're known for, and like we go over like defense to that, and then we normally go live for probably 45 to an hour.
Um, Osage has actually a great tradition of
Mm-hmm.
wrestling up there. You got a big wall up in the gymnasium of
Yeah.
former state champs, national champs, world champions. How how cool is that to see all that stuff and be a part of it?
Oh, it's really cool. I mean, just especially the rich tradition. It had been a while since Osage had won a state title this year, and that was one of the things that was really cool to be a part of. Like that, everybody's so used to it, and it's been a long time for the community to bring home a state title, and it was just really cool to be a part of that. I mean, it's cool getting to see all the state titles, names, individuals, and all the years the teams did it. I don't know. It just kind of pushes you every day. You know what I mean? Like you see those 54, and then there's a blank one underneath all this individual state titles. So then it's all 54 of them, and then there's a blank one underneath it.
It does seem kind of weird for the tradition and history that Osage has, and yet this is the first title since 1981. Uh, that had to have been just absolutely phenomenal coming back to town.
No, it was awesome. It's an experience I'll never forget for sure. I mean, it's just crazy how well Osage rallies behind their athletics. I mean, like, because week or two after the girls basketball made the state finals too, and that was pretty fun.
Do you have any college plans? What are your college plans?
I'm definitely planning to compete in athletics in college. Been talking to a lot of wrestling coaches. Been talking to a lot of football coaches too. I'm kind of on the line right now. I mean, I like them both. I just got to come up with a decision eventually.
Is coaching in your future?
um, I definitely like want to coach, but I don't know. I mean, probably more than likely it is, but as of now, I don't know.
If you go to school now, what would be your major?
Probably. I think I want to major in criminal justice.
Interesting. Well, I want to thank you this morning for taking this time. It's been a pleasure, and hopefully they'll get the wrestling season opened up,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll get to see you in Fargo again.
Yep. Hopefully. Sounds good.
And, one last thing though, how did you do up in Fargo since you've been there?
I think it was my ninth grade summer, so I rocketed up from 145 to 170. I placed in Greco, didn't place in freestyle. I think I was in the match before the blood round in freestyle too. So that was an eventful weekend. Then I went back sophomore year, didn't go as planned. I think I went like 2-2 both styles. Then last year I did about the same 2-2, but I was really hoping to make a big splash on that circuit this year again.
Well, with USA Wrestling, they do bracket pairing as well as a regular bracket.
Uh-huh.
Do you have a preference on those?
I think I mean, the regular brackets are just a little bit easier to read, but like it doesn't really matter to me in overall grand scheme of things. But
I was just kind of wondering because they changed it the last few years to go to a regular bracket versus the pairing, and I'm maybe a little old school. I like the pairing.
all right, I don't know. I think that regular brackets easier for just like random spectators to follow.
Yeah, it is, and usually you get probably the best couple kids in the finals
Yep.
or thereabouts.
Hmm.
Well, again, I want to thank you, Spencer, and good luck with your fishing trip this weekend.
Thank you.
And make sure you post some of those big fish catches on Facebook or something.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.